Welcome. My name is Catherine, and this video is about the American band Talking Heads. And I am very happy that they got together this year to reissue the Stop Making Sense live album from 1984. And I have an original copy of this 1984 album. And this is the deluxe edition. It came with a book. And in this book are pictures of the performance, and I'll show you one. So this original album has 9 tracks, and I'll show you. And the reissue has 16, including the Tom Tom Club Genius of Love and Cross-Eyed and Painless from Remain in the Light. And I'm just going to be happy with the one I have because it's in such good condition. And now I'm going to show you my Talking Heads collection, starting with a book by Frantz. It's called Remain in Love, and it tells a nice history of the Talking Heads and the history of the New York scene in the 70s at the CBGB. It also has chapters um, about each album and how they were recorded and the songs and what the meaning of the songs are. And the Talking Heads, at their first performance, they opened for the Ramones. When they were in London, they opened for XTC, and they also toured with the B-52s. And it's a very entertaining book and at times also very funny. And I recommend it. If you haven't read this and you're a Talking Heads fan, I think you'll enjoy it. So let me now show you my Talking Heads albums. The first album is their debut album, Talking Heads, 1977. And it was released September 16th of 1977. And there are 3 singles, Uh-Oh, Love Comes to Town, Psycho Killer, and Pulled Up. And this copy is a French copy. I'll show you on the back, the writing is in French. So right down here, this is all in French. And I thought this was unique because Tina Weymouth, when she was a little girl, her father was in the military and they lived in France, and she picked up the language at a young age and she's fluent in French. And I just think this is a good debut album. And I'll say that all the albums that I have, I enjoy every single one. Can't really say I have a favorite, I just like them all. Next record is Fear of Music. This is their 3rd studio album. It was released August 3rd, 1979. And we have the singles Life During Wartime, I Zimbra, and Cities. And I'll say Life During Wartime is one of my favorite songs by the Talking Heads. I like the lyric, I've changed my hairstyle so many times now, I don't know what I look like. Other tracks that I enjoy on here are the ballad Heaven and Memories Can't Wait. And he has a line in that song that said, there's a party in my mind and I hope it never stops. The next album is Speaking in Tongues. It's their 5th studio album. It was released June 1st of 1983. And this album made me aware of the Talking Heads because the hit single Burning Down the House It reached number 9 on the US Billboard Hot 100, peaked in the top 10 in Canada. However, it didn't chart very well in the UK. So we also have the singles This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody, which is a popular song that most Talking Heads fans like, and also Swamp, which was released in New Zealand and Australia. And here's the back. Next album, sixth studio album, Little Creatures, with this wonderful cover. And I did show it in my last video, but I'm showing it again for this Talking Heads story. We have the singles Lady Don't Mind, Road to Nowhere, and She Was. And this album was released June 10th of 1985. And the artwork was by American artist Howard Finster. And you can view this in the Smithsonian. It's on display there, the original painting. And there's all kinds of little sayings on the front of this album. And I just want to read you my favorite. It's right underneath David Byrne, right down here. And it says, play aloud and sing, let the heavens ring. Music is for the soul, and it's a wonderful thing. The last thing I'll show you today as far as albums is a CD. It's their compilation album, Greatest Hits, the best of the Talking Heads. And this was issued in 2004. So what this does for me is it gives me the songs from more songs about building and food, and the Remain in the Light album. Our first track on here is Love, Buildings on Fire. And this was the song that Sire Records president Seymour Stein heard them play in the CBGB and got them signed on to Sire Records. We also have the cover song, the Al Green cover song, Take Me to the River, and the song Find a Job. And I like that one because my parents' names are in that song, Bob and Judy, and I just think it's funny that they're fighting upstairs. And then from the Remain in Light album, I get the song Once in a Lifetime. And Cross-Eyed and Painless isn't on here, but I put that on a playlist to take care of that. And then I have the song Wild Wild Life from True Stories. And from their final album, Naked, I get Coming Up Flowers and Blind. And the last thing I'll show you, in the June 2020 Rolling Stone magazine, they had an article about the Talking Heads, and it's a guide to their discography. So here's the first page. Tells all the facts about the albums. And the second page talks about David Byrne's solo career, as well as some of the latter albums, like True Stories and Naked, are on this second page. So that is my Talking Heads collection. I love this band. I enjoy their music. There's so much variety in their songs. Most of their songs, none of them sound the same. And I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you to my new subscribers. And please comment and tell me what your favorite Talking Heads albums are and what are your favorite songs. And I hope to see you in my next video.